Hey guys, and welcome back to our show Seg. It's been for some time since we've last been here, but this is about to change. I will explain everything right away. Just right now, what I'm doing is cutting this canola from my field, and this is the final harvest on this version of the map, because what's going to happen is that I'm going to reset this series. Well, I'm going to reset the gameplay, and with that we're going to start a new season in this series, uh, and I will move over to the updated version of the map, which is significantly larger, and that has a nice area ready to go for the cows and the pigs and the sheep as well. So built in, specifically built for the map, and it's absolutely how Hungarian farms look like in terms of animal husbandry. Like uh, it has a pigsty that is absolutely typical of a large-scale pig operation in Hungary, and then it has a cow shed that is absolutely typical of a large-scale uh, cow operation, and so you know how it works. Uh, sorry, I think it's the normal state right now. I cough very rarely. It's just the usual absolutely murdered uh, vocal tract of mine that is coming from the fact that I'm a teacher and I use and abuse my voice all the time. So yeah, uh, this is what's going to happen, and I think that this series is going to be the main focus on this channel from now on. Obviously, the Marvel Manor uh, project is here to stay, or it's really no longer a project, it's an adventure series, so to speak, by which I mean it's a regular let's play like all others. And then occasionally I will get back to the DIY farm, but that is currently on a parking stage, or how to put it, it's in resting right now, just because I don't feel like it. Mm, Once I feel that it's missing and I want to do that, I will definitely get back to that, but right now it's on pause. And yeah, and that's all that I have in mind currently. So this one, and occasionally some Marvel Manor, because that's a good one. I enjoy that thoroughly. Uh, and the rest of the projects are currently uh, undecided whether they are just on a pause, or they will remain as they are, or what's going to happen. Like the Valker farms, uh, I just simply found that there is mediocre interest in that, and then again I think I'm absolutely uh, owing you guys with some Borderlands, but that's not gonna happen anytime soon. At least not here. If I do Borderlands, then it's on BitChute, um, and it's very rare and occasional. Um, and yeah, the Need for Speed series didn't have the interest that I expected, so that's on a pause as well. Okay, we have unloaded. We can roll on. Also, I think a quick fix is in order for this header. We're doing it right like this right now because it's just to roll with things. Anyway, so those are on a pause, and the main focus is going to be this series on this channel. Uh, Everything will be centered around here, because I want to show you guys how farming happens here in Hungary, like since the 50s and 60s. Yeah, and that's a nice opportunity to use this map. And then for later on, say for May or for the summer, I have other plans for you guys that you may enjoy or may not. Uh, and hopefully by then we can see that the Marvel Manor adventures are more or less done, all the possibilities are exploited over there, and it can be finished on a high note, so to speak. And then uh, I can move on to other things, because I realize that I want to move this channel towards uh, more of this East European, Central European uh, type of farming with maps from this region, and uh, equipment from that is typical of this region, especially the old and crappy equipment. I mean, like, what what does constitute crappy? I mean, this combine is very far from it. Uh, in terms of operability or anything like that. It's just these machines around these parts are already very old and downtrodden and rusty and whatnot. So worn down. So that's what I mean by crappy. I don't mean that they work. I don't know, in any they work fine. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. It's just they look sometimes, and I enjoy that. That retro look, guys. Yeah, but anyway, so that's what's up with this channel. That being said, I cannot quit American farming, and I have found a lovely place for that too. Uh, and it's going to be my other channel that I will start soonish. Mm, maybe like next weekend or so. But the catch is that it's going to be a Hungarian speaking channel. I'm going to do my videos in Hungarian over there. And so I can create this nice juxtaposition that over here on this channel I do farming in the East European, Central European manner, more Central European, because I'm Central European, not East European. Uh, and I will speak English to entertain you guys with uh, this quirky way of farming, or oftentimes quirky way. Especially when we move over to East Europe, I have plans for that. I think it's going to be splendid. And then I want to do the other way around on the other channel. Like, I will do things that are typical of American farming and all that. What I have learned about that, like say in the last 2 years, not few, last 2 years, uh, and then I want to show that to the Hungarian audience. Hopefully, if they come out to play, that is. Yeah, so that's going to happen. Now I know that not everyone speaks Hungarian. In fact, very small part the of the human population on Earth speaks Hungarian, like 16 million people, give or take. Uh, but I will drop the link for the new channel over here once it's running. It's not even up and running just yet. Uh, so that you can check it out if you are into catastrophe tourism or anything like that. You want to see a different type of Armageddon, then definitely uh, check it out. You are more than welcome to do so. Obviously, it's going to be a very public and accessible channel. It won't be secret, and it's going to be connected to this one, so you can find it. Um, and yeah, so this is the plan that I have figured out, and that's been uh, what I was busy with in the past few days. Uh, you know, like figuring out how this would work. And I already started shooting the core series for that channel, um, but with this one I need some time to adjust to the fact that the new version of the map requires a new save file. Uh, That being said, I think I explained a few things that are going to happen. Obviously, I cannot pull up the minimap for the new version because we're over here at the old version, but I can speak about equipment and all that. So what's happening right now is that I get together all the money I can uh, before moving on, and we will take all this money, and then we will take some of the equipment that we have, and then we will replace some of the equipment in the new version because there are better options out there right now than the ones that I started out with. Just simply that. By better option I mean better fitting uh, to the mood of this gameplay, or the theme of the gameplay. Uh, it's not like I replace this Unimog with a New Holland T8 or anything like that. Especially because this Unimog is coming with me, alright? It's going to be there alongside with this trailer, and obviously the combine is coming. It's just so good. I can't wait to use it more. Uh, yeah, so things like that. I don't even remember what I'm doing with this, but I think right now I'm putting it in the silo because yes, because we're waiting for this central grain elevator canola price to become fairly good, and then we're also waiting on sunflowers to become really good, and we have some soybeans. It's not that dramatic. uh, Corn would be nice to be sold on a nice place and a nice price, and then we have a significant amount of wheat. And also we have a trailer load of oats, so I reckon we will do pretty good money uh, before moving over to the new version of the map, or I will do pretty good movie money. I don't even know what I'm talking about. It's like it's morning for me right now, Sunday morning. Yeah. Anyways, uh, this is what's going to happen. That I will move some equipment, but no goods whatsoever. I already sold all the silage. I made some 55 grand on it, uh, and I already sold all the straw. And on that I made some 20 grand, so pretty good money. If you guys remember, I had some loose straw in that little shed. I also sold that placeable shed that I had because it won't be in the right position on the new version of the map. This yard over here has changed dramatically. So yeah, these are the things that I've already done. Now I had this field drilled just before the new version of the map arrived, so I made it grow up, and I figured I might as well cut it down before uh, before moving over to the updated version and make some good money on it. I mean, it's canola and it's a significant amount of canola, so it's supposed to be good money. And obviously the main goal for that new season will be to actually get into cattle husbandry. And this is going to be a parallel between the two channels, that I want to do cows on the American map. I want a huge milk operation with several hundred cows, and I want to do the same over here. Except over here it's going to be Hungarian style. Uh, by which I mean we're rolling with equipment that is typical around these parts, or that, well, no longer, that's not true. That was typical around these parts, say 10-20 years ago. Much of this is now not, especially in large scale operations, so in bigger farms, these equipments are no longer in use, just simply because it's old. And as I said, these like this combine works very well, and these work quite well in real life just as well, if they are in running order, that is. But it's still not the same level of efficiency as, say, a Lexion from around 2015 or just 2010. I think those things are the most spread right now. So most especially the larger farms are running with equipment that is from the previous decade, and not really older than that. And then some young timers from the 90s and the early 2000s are there just as well. And more those are the things that are dominating the used equipment market as well. If you hit up a page that where used equipment is sold in classified ads, then you will find that a significant part is from those era. And then I do these things in my free time. That's how I do it, even though I don't buy equipment actually. And then you can find bad guys like this one sporadically, less and less typical, and ever so often they are sold as uh, I don't know, a part stock, so like to use it as parts because it's not in fully running order, but you can scavenge parts from it or stuff like that, or you get them in need of significant refurbishment to run them efficiently. And I have no idea how easily can you get new parts if you have a combine like this in real life. Like I think these, even the last version, the E570, was produced, I think, up to the mid 80s or something like that. So it's been out of production for quite some time. And I have no idea if there are aftermarket parts or anything like that. Uh, So I think that they are in the period of their life cycle where you can keep a significant amount of these machines in running order if you have other ones around to scavenge parts from. So they are getting close to disappearing forever, not counting like ones that are ran as, I don't know, old timers, like curiosities, and and the ones that are, let's say, in museums. I mean, I can imagine these are nicely uh, fitting in a museum. Now I don't know if there is a Fourth Street museum per se. I know for a fact that that Class has a huge exhibition at their headquarters of old Class equipment, but this company is defunct. It's no longer uh, producing equipment for Street, and so they don't have a headquarters anymore. Yeah, so I will use these kinds of machines for the most part, and then as the operation will become more and more successful, we will move over to do those young timers that are uh, slightly more efficient, but equally as well made as say this one. I mean, because these were pretty indestructible. Uh, when when this bad boy hit the market, nobody was considering that what the company will do when they come up with the next model in 2 years time, and the old ones are still in working order and nobody wants to replace them. This was not a thing uh, in the, I think it's a 70s combine. So in the 70s it definitely was not a thing, not even in Western Europe. So that's why you have those uh, nice Dominator combines all around. By the way, one of the staple machines for smaller farms here in Hungary is the Dominator 108 SL that Giants brought out um, with as a pre-order bonus with the class DLC. So I can see that one has a place in the roster of this farm later on. Typically, I think if you follow this story, I have told this a few times before, that Western made machines hit the Hungarian market as much as it was a market uh, in the mid 70s, and so a wide range of American and German uh, made equipment was available. So practically all the trademarks that are huge nowadays were a common thing here in Hungary. You could see loads of Claas combines and John Deere tractors and all of that. And and yes, there were some combines that weren't Claas from the West, but typically those were a rare sight because they were that much more expensive and that much less cost effective than Dominators. Like, spare parts were much more scarce and much more expensive. So you could see the case age 1680s and 1660s, and then there were some New Hollands, a few of those. And maybe another cult piece was the John Deere 2056, uh, around these parts, but I think those were quite a rare sight as well. It was the privilege of very very large, very very productive um, farms to get those. But there were a few of them nonetheless, uh, so they were part of the legends. And then obviously the staple, in the 70s and the 80s, the staple machines were these ones, and the Dominator 106s, because these were the affordable options for most agricultural collectives. Yeah. So altogether, this is what's going to happen. Um, Obviously, this channel won't stop being an overall game channel, not just a farming channel, because I do play other stuff, but it's going to be the main profile. I mean, it's always been like the great majority of videos are farming videos, because that's the game I enjoyed the most, or this is the game. Um, but I will change what I do in the game. Uh, and it hopefully this can lead to a more unique experience for you guys. I mean, I have no knowledge of anyone doing this in English, because all of the idea is that all of the Hungarian YouTubers who do farm sim are playing this style, at least to some extent, uh, because it's a kind of a given for us. Like, if you are Hungarian and you play this game, you have to enjoy using these kinds of equipments on these maps. Uh, but no one does that in English. And then again, uh, there are guys in the Hungarian community who play the American maps and all that, but uh, I don't know if they have the knowledge to rip off, I don't know, RD Allen or the squad in terms of knowledge about how things are done in the USA. And then I have this slight advantage that I'm actually an English teacher, so I do understand those guys, and I can steal a small bit of their personality this way. Yeah. So that's why I decided to do this, because I figured I want to do something that no one else does, and it's very very hard to come up with original ideas at this day and age if you're doing this genre. and that's the best I get. So that's how it goes. Anyways, I think this is it for this video. I will crack on with the work, and then I think the next video will be when I'm starting the... Oh, come on, traffic is very intense right now. So when I'm starting my new life on the new farm, well, on this same farm but in a new version, a new iteration. Thank you guys for checking this video out. Drop a like if you enjoyed what you have seen. Uh, Definitely subscribe if you're interested in the future of this farm. Uh, and if you have anything to say, just drop it in the comment section. Um, Also, you can find me on Facebook. It's going to be an ordeal because I won't start a new Facebook page, and that is about to become bilingual whenever I'm using it. Uh, so it's going to be interesting anytime soon, so give it a follow if you want. You can also find me on BitChute if you are looking hard enough. Uh, yeah. Uh, so all the best, and see you next time, and in the meantime behave yourselves and don't buy strangers.